I'm Stanley Louw, so I head up digital and innovation for Avanade across the UK. And interestingly enough, when I got here this morning and I saw the blockbuster sign outside, I thought, it's quite nice actually, especially if we're talking about disruption. And then on listening to the talk this morning and seeing the building, I'm pretty sure it was part of the experience design to actually have that outside. So, but what it made me think of as well is how our lives have changed once we're outside of work. You know, I've got a little box called Alexa, and it's interesting to see how they tested some of it. But, she pretty much manages my whole house. Switch on my lights, switch off my lights. Our bodies are completely changed. My watch is monitoring my health. I mean, yesterday I had to walk from the station into the office. And when I got to the office, it told me I'd done a workout. I was quite impressed with myself because I typically don't do workout. Our shopping is completely changed, our habits, and our complete lives have been disrupted and completely changed how we think, how we behave outside of work. Now, what's interesting about that is, as all of that has changed, we're all consumers as well. And a lot of companies, similar to what giffgaff has done, are rethinking how they engage with us as consumers. How do they change how we buy? How do they change how we access our type of products? And how we do that. But at the same point, as someone that wants to have a different consumer experience, I also work, and I also want the exactly same experience inside the office. We've had a number of clients I've spoken to. What's come out is, outside of work, I use Alexa, I use WhatsApp, I use all these different types of tools. But the moment I step into the office, it's like I step back 10 years. And it's not because the technology isn't there, or the environment, or the stuff isn't there. It's because those experiences and things don't exist. The culture change, how we drive and how we work, is completely different and old kind of focused, not based on how I live completely outside. So one of the key things we've seen is, there's a big push, and listening to what you guys have done around how you address new customer experiences and how you work differently to engage your clients different. But the complete linkage back to that is what we call our employee experience as well. Because if our employees aren't having a great experience and aren't able to use the tools and technologies to engage with their clients differently, we can't have a great customer experience at the end of the day. Because clients use our digital technologies, but we work with a lot of retail customers as an example. And when you go into a retail store, people still go into some stores, I think, now and again. There's how are we enabling those people to be able to work properly with those customers and give them the same experience as what they have when they're actually buying something from some type of digital channel at the end of the day? So that link is absolutely key to there. And what we've certainly seen is what we should start to look at is how do we take those principles we do when we start working on customer experience and start turning those inwards and start saying, well, how can we change how we work? How can we change what our people are looking at? How do we drive that proper personalization and hyper-personalization for me as an employee? If I'm looking at code bases or I'm working at certain areas, how do I see the information of things as relevant to me and not that's relevant to everybody else? How do we start driving technology as an enabler? How do we start bringing AI and some of these big apps and things that we're developing for our customers and bringing those type of things internal to start to work differently and actually see what we do? And how do we create those moments that matter? So when we start doing customer experiences, how do we link those back to an employee experience to be able to understand that this is how it impacts it? Because that experience runs right through. It's not just the customer side of the world on today. So it's not just about IT for us, right? It's about linking those digital experiences back to the physical experiences. In the office, how do we actually work? What does it look like? How do we work in this type of environment to be able to have that creative type of front end? But also, how do we drive those human experiences? We had one of the clients we worked with recently completely digitized, for instance, the maternity process. And very quickly they started getting pushback coming back saying, well, this is great. I can click a few buttons to get it done quickly, but I've got questions. I want to be able to work with someone. And this is where, what you guys were saying around how do we change the culture and the ways of working in addition to be able to drive these new technologies ways and things of working across that. So who's looking at that bigger picture? And it's not just something that your IT environment is going to go and do. It's not just something that the developers are going to do. It's something we have to link in with HR, we have to link it in with business executives, or the mafia, as you put it earlier. But we've got to get those three areas working together and actually engage in a single process in terms of changing what we're actually doing and disrupting what our workplace look like. And for us, it kind of runs across three core areas. The one is around that modernizing those platforms and technologies. If we look at how do we engage with our systems and things and just how we work, this is where it really comes into, do I step back 10 years? Because outside, it's easy. I've got an app. I can very quickly, simply do things, and it's intuitive. Nobody had to teach me to use my cell phone. My 4-year-old son probably knows better how to use it than me. It's something that's intuitive, easy to use, and I just know how to use it. I don't have to go through a massive change plan in order to actually get anywhere. Reimagine the culture and the employee experiences around that. It's as much as we engage with our customers and work with what are the new experiences they want to have, and we have massive UX programs and things onto that, how do we turn that internal and start to work with our employees as well to understand how we link those things through and have that end-to-end experience running through, and also influence the culture through that. And as that starts to change, we can start to change our operations. We can start to optimize how we do things and what we do and how we work and engage with our customers much differently. So that was just kind of a quick view of how we need to start to say, how do we disrupt looking internal? Because there's a massive focus on kind of digital on the outside, but how do we start to kind of look towards how do we impact and disrupt digital on the inside to be able to really make a massive impact for business, but also for our customers across.